I thought I had the silver bullet for wax moth damage. I spray it and forget it, and no more worries until next spring. But I may have screwed up. Let's find out. So back in July of this year, my first year with any comb that I needed to protect over the winter. So I did a little research and I came across a product called Bacillus Thuringiensis aizawai, which is commercially available as a powder called Xentari. You can get it at a couple different locations, and it's a powder. You mix about 4 teaspoons up per gallon, put it in a little sprayer like this, pump it up, spray both sides of the frames, and once it dries, supposedly you're good for the rest of the season. And they're ready to go. You don't have to wrap them, you don't have to put crystals on them, you don't have to do anything. They're good to go. And what happens is these crystals are a type of bacterial spore that specifically target wax moth larvae, and when the wax moth larvae eat the proteins that get sprayed on the comb, it kills them. And in July, whenever I sprayed it, then I did a follow-up video about a month or so ago, and it appeared, other than perhaps a few frames that I may have missed or didn't spray enough onto, it seemed like it was pretty much working. But the other night I came out and I noticed a whole bunch of wax moth on some of my boxes, which isn't unusual because it doesn't stop the moth from laying eggs, but it does once the egg hatch, once the tiny larvae start eating the sprayed frames, it kills them. So I just decided to pull a couple frames, and over here you'll see I have about 20 frames in these two boxes. Well, 18 frames over here, and over here I have about 40 frames. This group over here is I've separated them out. This group over here is almost all comb that was pretty dark, if not completely dark from brood. It at least had a couple generations of brood through them, so they were, as you can see, they're not just straight comb. A lot of them look like this, and as you can see, wax moth damage right through there. You can see here, there's a, oh, I don't know if you saw it, but a wax moth just ran off. But there's wax moth cocoons all over it. And then you can see really bad frames like this. Look, there's multiple wax moths on it, and as you can see, try not to block, there's a lot of wax moth tunnels going through there. Same with this side. So probably not unusable, but I don't know. What do y'all think? Would y'all put that in and let the bees clean it up? Or, and as you can tell, a lot of these were very dark brood comb. Look at all the wax moth. So I think the BT, the Xentari BT, does kill the wax moth larva, but the moths love the dark comb so much that even to kill the larvae have to eat a little bit before they die. So they're going to make some damage before they die. Well, I think the wax moths go after the dark comb so much that it's just a death of 1,000 cuts, because there's so many wax moth. There's as you can see. But so there's about 18 frames where I classified them if they were about 50% or more damaged. I put them in these two boxes, and there's still usable comb in there, and can just scrape off the wax moth damaged sections, and the bees will still have something to work with. Look at there, there's about 1, 2, 3, 4 wax moths on that side. This side is ate up pretty well. So I just think Xentari isn't enough to maybe protect the darker brood comb from just a constant onslaught of eggs hatching, them damaging it a little bit, and then them dying from the Xentari. Like I said, that it's just a death of 1,000 cuts. It's a little bit of damage, a little bit of damage, a little bit of damage, and in the end, you end up with frames that are, have a lot of cumulative damage. There's probably 10 wax moths on both of those sides there. But then if you come over here to the combs that I separated that had little or almost no damage, you'll see that it's nice white comb that has not had any brood in it, if any at all. And even there, you can see a little section of brood comb, but they really haven't went after it. I don't know if it's not dark enough, or because mostly it's honeycomb and not brood comb. They haven't messed with it. But all of these boxes are filled with basically broodless, drawn out comb, and they're pretty much protected. So although there is a wax moth right there, so they may be laying eggs on it and just not having any luck. Maybe it was user application, I don't know, but I definitely think here's a wax moth on the comb. So I do think that looking at the wax moth on the comb, I assume they are laying eggs on this fresh comb, and it's not, the eggs just aren't making it. I don't know, it's because there's no bee cocoons, or there's more Xentari, or maybe I made an application error. I don't know. If any of y'all have used Xentari with success, especially on the darker brood comb that look like this, and if you've had success, let me know in the comments, because maybe I didn't apply it properly, or I don't know. Yeah, so I think from here on out, for any comb that's had any amount of brood going through it, I think I'm going to end up using a combination of Xentari for my honeycomb, and the darker comb, I think I'm going to use wax moth crystals to protect it, because comb is gold. It's the only thing more valuable than comb are probably the bees themselves. So and if you protect your comb real well, you get a huge jump start come spring. And that's what I'm looking forward to going into my next season. So how do you protect your comb? Do you use wax moth crystals? Do you use Xentari BTa, or any other? They also sell this in a liquid form called Sertan, I believe, but it's quite expensive. This, I can't remember how much this was. I think it was $30 or $40 for a 1 pound bag, and literally 4 tablespoons per gallon, and a gallon will treat probably double, if not triple, this amount of frames, and you're going to get, I don't even know how many applications out of this, because this is a 1 pound bag, and so figure out how many 4 tablespoons is in 1 pound of this, and you can see you got quite a bit for $40. Whereas opposed to Surtan, the liquid, I think it's designed to be mixed one time with a gallon, and that's one and done, and I think it was right at about $40. So this is definitely a greater value. Now, it may not be performing as well as Surtan. I don't know. Have you had Surtan and Xentari and compared them? Maybe that's something I'm going to do in the future. But I mean, so 18 out of, we got 40 here and 18, so almost 60 frames. So 1/3 of the frames got considerable wax moth damage, but they were the brood frames that got damaged. So at least there's that. I've done 2 videos on this product, of my initial application, which explains to you a little bit more about this product, where to get it, how to mix it, how to apply it. And then I did a follow-up video about a month ago showing the results of pretty much frame by frame. And at that point, there wasn't really much damage. And I was pretty impressed. So if you want, I have links to both of those videos in the description of this video so that you can go back, and I'll also have them linked. I'll have thumbnails pop up at the end of this video so that you can view them for yourself if you want more information about Xentari.